Stuart, how are you feeling after that victory and the manner in which you guys delivered it?
Chuffed to bits. We worked incredibly hard for large parts of that game to get the good outcomes. We got ourselves in good positions and had a clinical edge at times. And then we had to absorb a lot of pressure through England. And credit to them for that. They were outstanding at times. But we stuck to our systems. We stuck to what works best for us. And thankfully, we've come out with a perfect scoreline for us.
You can't have planned to have to absorb as much pressure as you did. What does it say about the defence and the fact that you were able to keep going for so long with the amount of ball that they had?
I think the biggest work on that we've had is we've been able to absorb pressure for a long time, but it's now flipping that on its head and applying pressure at the same time. And I think we've done exactly that. I don't think they got through multi-phase very often, and we managed to stand firm. I don't think there was very many defensive penalties against us, so that's something that will be chuffed to bits from. But again, it's a challenge now to back it up next week.
What's this about the big moment in the second half, then the two cross-field kicks? Was it something that was planned? Was it something that you had identified that you could get at England that way?
I think it was just kind of playing heads at rugby. Our set-piece starter didn't quite go to plan, and we just managed to adapt on the move and get on with it. And it was two absolutely perfect kicks from Finn, and it led to a line bend on one end and then a penalty try on the other wing. So that was spot on for us. So it's something that Finn likes to try and do with the wingers, make sure that we're flat and in position, keep everybody guessing, and execute it to perfection.
Oh, fine, thanks. Tenants would be nice.
If we can just start off with the broadcasters, please, if we can try and keep it into two sections. So, Jamie, if you want to kick us off.
Gregor, take us inside the coach's box for that last, what seemed like forever, with all those reset scrums. How were you feeling? What was the emotion like when it came loose and Stuart was able to kick it dead for the win?
Yeah, I think the heart rates of all of us were the highest they'd been throughout the whole game. There was an element of what would happen when the ball comes out of the scrum, or would the referee penalise one team or another? I think one of the scrums we thought we were going to get a penalty, and then on another scrum we thought England might get the penalty. I'm glad in a way that it wasn't decided by a scrum decision, and we had to defend. And fortunately, got the ball back and a turnover. It was always going to be difficult for a team with that weather to try and to get a try or force a penalty. But I'm just really proud of the efforts first at the scrum and then obviously in the phase defence.
Would it be fair to say that it wasn't a perfect performance? And if you do agree with that, what does that say about the fact that they managed to eke out a victory in those circumstances?
Yeah, it was far from perfect, and I think the weather's got something to play, and that when it's so wet. But we knew we were going to be playing into the wind in the first half, and we had to absorb a lot of phase defence or phase attack from England. We were in our half for the majority of that time, and we weren't able to really build phase upon phase through our errors at times. I think 3 line-out plays where didn't win the ball straight away, or we lost the ball on first phase. But it's great to see a play executed really well through the team, but especially Darcy and Ben White with his support line. So yeah, we felt we hadn't fired a huge amount of shots in the first half, but we were still leading, and we knew second half with a slight advantage of the wind. But having said that, our probably third quarters was the poorest part of our game for us, and we were all thankful and obviously proud of how we played in that final quarter, which was telling.
It's a good run that you're on in this fixture over the last few years. Is it just as sweet as it was when you're ending winning runs for England, winning at Twickenham for the first time in 38 years? Does this feel just as good?
Oh, 100%. I think in 2018 it was such a good game and such a positive atmosphere, and obviously it'd been a long while since we'd won, and some of the tries we scored during the game were amazing to watch. but today obviously felt like one of huge effort. Could have gone either way. I felt England played really well today. They're a strong side, as we know. So to actually come out at the end of a real tight tussle makes up for the arm wrestle we had with them 2 years ago. And just to hear and feel that atmosphere was amazing. We've missed crowds at this fixture last year, so to have them back and in full voice was special. Thank you.
Can we move on to written now, please?
Oh, sorry. Can I just one more for broadcast, if you don't mind?
You know
Gregor, just to sort of follow on to that answer, as you said, this team keeps making history. I think it's the first time Scotland have retained the Calcutta Cup since you were 10 years of age. Do you remember that one? And just what does it mean to you? Are the players aware of how seismic history this is today?
Yeah, well, we retained it 2 years ago, so I think it's the first time we won back-to-backs.
Back-to-back, yeah.
Yeah, and look, this team have done really well in this fixture. I think we've won the trophy 4 times out of the last 5, so it's a game that we not just get up for, but we know we deliver close to our best rugby. Now, today wasn't close to our best rugby, but I think the standards we've set are much higher than they were a few years ago. So yeah, it's great. I think it's obviously very good for our team, but our team are on a 5-game journey here for this championship, and we know it's just the first game. For our people, it means the world to them. I remember in 2000 when we'd lost every game in the championship, winning the last one against England made the season, or made people's years, rather than if we'd won 3 or 4 games that season. So we know how much this means to our supporters and the whole nation. So it's great that we can start with a win for them, but we've got 4 more games now. If we want to deliver something special, we've got to play really well next week.
And moving on to written now, please. Kick off with Jamie of STV with broadcast, then we'll move on to written. Thanks, guys.
Hi, Darcy.
All right, how are you?
Not bad. Eventful day for yourself.
Oh, that was mad. What a buzz.
I don't know where to start. Tell us, let's start with the break for that first try. Talk us through it and the way that all panned out.
Yeah, no, I just went short off Hoggy and I just ran hard into space and kind of just got the pass on the ball on my hip, and I just managed to gather it and just I went clean through. So unreal to have Ben on my shoulder to get his international career absolutely started with a bang. So he done unreal just to be on my shoulder, and he done very well.
And you got the penalty try. You must have thought that was going right into your arms.
Yeah, I was gutted. I was absolutely raging that he slapped it forward, but it was the right decision with a penalty try. Yeah, he made no attempt to get up for it and catch it. So yeah, it was a penalty try all day long.
And then tell us all about the breakdown at the end, the turnover and the game-winning moment.
Yeah, we kind of spoke in the back line that they had to work for everything if they were going to score, but I was determined not to let them score. I kind of made a mistake about 10 minutes before that, so I wanted to make up for it, and I always try to do that. If I make a mistake, I'll try back up with something very positive, and I did on this occasion.
You've made yourself a lot of memories in this fixture, you know, over just a few short years. What is it about this fixture that Scotland seem to really rise to at the moment?
Yeah, I think as a Scottish boy, you don't get any bigger playing England. So I always it doesn't take much to get to get into the game and that. So I was just very excited to get playing, and the boys just were unreal, and we're just it's very hard to put into words how we feel after the game.
Does it ramp up the excitement for next week, knowing the start that you've given yourself and just what this team could go on and achieve?
Well, that's it. That's just one part of the puzzle, winning that game. So we just need to back up now going into Wales, going down there. It's a tough away fixture. So yeah, we just need to back it up. We've won Calcutta games in the past and not backed up. So it's a huge opportunity. We've started well. So let's go on to do something very special. Solid.
Jamie, if you want to kick us off.
Hamish, describe the feeling on the pitch when the ball was kicked dead and that one was won after the. Well, there's a lot of pressure you were put under. There was a lot of toing and froing towards the end and a bit of a nervy finish as well.
Yeah, very nervy finish. It was probably a bit of relief in the end because we had a few occasions where we could have won that game towards the end. There was that massive momentum shift when obviously Cowan Dickey got a yellow card and a penalty try, and then from there it sort of felt, you could feel it in the crowd, you could feel it in the team that we were sort of in charge then, and then we could have, obviously we attacked well, could have gone 6 points clear. I got done for a penalty at the breakdown, and we did well after that to regain momentum again, and then had a few more little errors after we got a rip and stuff like that. So it was definitely in the balance there at the end, and on those scrums, the boys in the front row did amazingly well just to stay squeaky clean there, and not give away any silly penalties. So yeah, massive emotion at the end, and a bit of relief as well. Yeah, it's great. These games mean so much to the fans and to the players, and to come away with another Calcutta Cup win is it's a great feeling.
It was a huge defensive effort, but I don't imagine you want to have to go through that amount of pressure every week. Where do you guys need to get better going forward in this championship?
Yeah, very different to the last Six Nations. I think we were always the team sort of with the territory and with the possession, and probably I think last year we made some of the least tackles in the tournament. So today England came out with a bit of ambition. They played the territory well. The first half especially, we didn't really touch the ball, but I think it's also a good sign that we've turned up today, and we spoke about it briefly in the change room there. We'll discuss it more on Sunday and Monday, but the fact that we haven't really fired that many shots, and we've still gone and won the game today. So that we can also get full of confidence there. I think when we had the ball, we looked good and we looked like we were dangerous. But yeah, it's going to be something we need to look at. Just we made a lot of tackles today, and they were on top for large periods of that game. So yeah, it's the boys will probably be pretty tired after a big shift, but yeah, hopefully we'll address some of that stuff for Monday.
You guys have gone down and you've won in Wales, but in front of an empty ground. How different is it going to be going to Cardiff in front of a hugely boisterous crowd, and how big a target is it to go and finally get a win in that atmosphere?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think all the boys are just looking forward to it now. It's on to the next game. England will review it on Sunday night or Monday morning. Then then we'll put England aside, and all focus will shift to Wales. We know Wales have got a few injuries and stuff, but they're still a really good team. They're a team full of belief. They always get results when they need them sometimes. So we know it's going to be a tough challenge going to Millennium in front of the Welsh fans. And the last one we got there, like you say, wasn't in front of fans, and it was at Party Scarlets. And yeah, it's going to be a different sort of test match on Saturday. But we've got full belief in ourselves. The squad's in a great place, and we'll go there full of confidence as well.
And on to written now, please.